Welcome to my channel, man, where we build champions for life. I really appreciate you taking the time today to stop by and have a conversation with me and enjoy this conversation that I had with Dylan, an awesome young man who's going into the Navy as a SAR swimmer, search and rescue swimmer out of helicopters. Man, dude's been training on the PDF. We have a great conversation about pasta, continuing training in life, and making sure you always got your knife sharp at the end of the spear. As always, if you like the content, hit the subscribe button. If you love this bad boy, share it with your friends. And we're jamming up all the shorts over on Jake Zweig Shorts. That's a new channel I got so that you guys can get all that short action over there because it was messing up my main channel. As always, if you got any questions, shoot me an email at jake.zwig@gmail.com. And you know what we building around here. We building champions for life. All right, brother Dylan, what you got, dog? You going, where you headed to?
Pensacola after I leave boot camp.
Are you in boot camp right now?
No. I'm shipping out on Sunday.
Okay, and I got you on Zoom because you've been training on the PDF, correct?
Correct.
You're gonna go shit stomp like search and rescue, bro. Like that's just the facts. Like, you got to do a lot of swimming, but you're going to be in great swimming shape, all that stuff. How'd it work out for you?
It worked out well. It shaved just about a minute off my run, and that was the big thing that I was really concerned about because everybody says it's a running man's game down in Pensacola. Just a lot of sustained runs. They're not really trying to get you to run fast. It's just like they go on 5-7 mile runs all the time. But it worked out. The pasta was what really saved my life, honestly, on all of it.
So we got another pasta believer, right? Had to get you on here to talk about this pasta a little bit. Mm-hmm. So before you weren't using any pasta, and it just kind of was like, your training was just okay?
Correct.
And how were you using the pasta?
I would just split it up. Like in the morning, I'd eat like a couple cups with my breakfast, and then I'd eat it after a workout, and then I'd eat like a huge meal. So I was eating a little bit over a pound a day probably, and I would either buy the cooked pasta or just cook it myself. And so I was just downing it, like even when I didn't feel like eating it.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, right? Like I can remember being in training, man. I was carrying around a bag of pasta, like a Ziploc baggie full. And I would eat some after every class we had up in Newport, Rhode Island when I was training for the PST. So, it's just one of them cheat codes, man, that people out here trying to haze me on. I'm just like, hey, man, listen. I'm starting to have some guys go to training, right? Like some guys that weren't my guys from the beginning. But like guys like you, right? You got the PDF, you hit the pasta, you had a lot of success. And now I'm starting to get this feedback. I got a couple guys going to in the Q course right now. They swear by it. And I'm sitting here waiting because, I got a beef with Reddit, right? Like the Reddit crew. Yeah. And so I'm just waiting because when you guys get done, you're going to call me up and say, yo, it was all the difference.
Right.
Just remember this, when you're in training, you're going to have to figure out how to get the pasta in, okay? And that's one of the things that I didn't do a great job. I did kind of in buds. Like before any timed run or swim, I went to Island Pasta the night before and got a big dinner of pasta. But if I had to go through buds again, I would have made sure like every day, like I had a bag of pasta that I was carrying around with me and left it in a cage so that I could have ate, for lunch. Because I just ate what was in the galley. And there was a lot of times there wasn't pasta in there, So SEAL training is a little bit different than what you're going through, but you're still going to be going through a lot of physical exercise where you're going. So just keep that in mind,
Okay.
The other thing to do is when you get done with boot camp, how much time between boot camp and when you start SAR school?
I want to say, I'd say 7 weeks because you go through an aircrew school before, and that's 5 weeks long.
Okay.
But you have to class up in between, so you have to wait like a week or two after you graduate boot camp, and then once you get down to Pensacola, I think it may be like another week before you class up, and then so it kind of depends.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a little bit of words of advice. You're going to get out of shape in boot camp.
Yeah.
Okay. The second you get out of boot camp, you got to start running on your program again. Okay?
Okay.
So my dudes that went to boot camp, I got another dude leaving here in August that are going SEALs. They know, like, look, when I get done with my day after boot camp and you in that little lull period, like I may have to go work out for 2 or 3 hours that night. Because
Right.
you're going to come out of boot camp and be like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Okay? And so the reason we go into boot camp so in shape is so that it doesn't take us 3 or 4 weeks to get back in shape. It'll take us like a week and a half, 2 weeks. How far you been running on your long runs on Saturday?
I haven't broke 9 miles yet.
Okay, that's fine.
I just been,
That's fine.
yeah.
Don't worry about it. You ain't got to get over 9 miles. You ain't going to Buds. You going to SAR school, okay?
Right.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. You still got to run them long runs on Saturday, okay?
Okay.
They will save your life when you get into training, okay?
Okay.
And so my guys in basic, man, they ran at night. Some of them went and swam at night. You're not going to swim every day, right? You've been swimming intervals?
Yes, sir.
Yep. And so don't think that what they're doing is preparing you. You have to prepare yourself to go down to SAR school and kill it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, when you get done with basic, man, like our first priority is to get back into world-class condition. We do that by running at night, swimming at night, running on Saturdays, going for a long run. You're going to have Saturdays and Sundays off. So,
All right.
and then I'll tell you like this, make sure you're getting that good recovery food in you. If you got to go find, Olive Garden's a good one, right? Because they got the Never Ending Pasta Bowl. And you roll in there for $14 and you crush pasta for an hour and a half and go home.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that.
Right?
That was the other thing I was going to ask you about with recovery is like stretching. That was one thing I didn't look at on the PDF. I don't think I saw anything about stretching. Yeah, but that was the thing Stu Smith was on, and he was like just stretch a lot, like a lot.
Yeah, Stu and I here's the deal, man. I don't believe in stretching.
Okay.
Okay. You look at some of the elite athletes in the world, they don't believe in stretching. I feel like stretching stretches your muscles out, and here's where this came from, okay? When I was at prep school, we had a national champion kickboxer, karate dude, 3-time national champion. Dude was a savage, right? And so his name was Parker, and I was always trying to get him to train me, but he was like, "You're gonna use your powers for bad." I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll kick people in the face," right?
Right.
So I did this stretching routine with him for about 2 months, man, and it was crazy, bro. I could put my legs out and put my chest on the ground. And so it was crazy, man. I got so flexible, man. And then we came into spring football, and I ran my 40, man, and I ran like a 4.95.
Yeah.
And the only thing that had changed was stretching. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I stopped stretching. By the time I got back to the Naval Academy, I was back at 4.7, 4.65. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm not a big fan of stretching. Like maybe a little warm up. Little dynamic warm up, but I'm not you're not gonna see me sitting there stretching a lot. I never stretched in football practice ever. I just sat there on the ground, went through the motions, okay? Because I don't necessarily believe in stretching. I want to keep my muscles tight. I want to keep all the fibers tight, right? Now, here's what I'll tell you. You've been doing your 30 minutes of abs a day?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you, you better get on your abs. Because the one thing they're going to get you in training is flutter kicks, leg levers, supermans, and all the ab work. And it'll mess with your hip flexors a little bit if you haven't been preparing. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to say this because we're going to use this on YouTube. But if you on a PDF and you're going just to SAR school, you still got to do the 30 minutes of abs because it'll help you just with injury prevention. Okay, but yeah, foam rolling, I'm not down on foam rolling, right? Like if you get a foam roller and you want to roll out, it's you got to figure out what works for you, Dylan.
Right.
Okay. I am really big on red light treatment. Like you can get some of those health spa places, red light treatment, and if you have a sauna and then you can get cold, like hot and cold contrast, I love that. But it's kind of hard to do in Pensacola. I'm sure there ain't a lot of saunas sitting around.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then the sleep, I know you're huge on the sleep. That makes a huge difference. Like sleeping 10 hours, 11 hours has been the big thing, but I don't know if I'll be able to have that. I don't know what that's going to look like once I get down to Pensacola studying and
Yep.
everything
So
else
you're
in
not gonna be
between.
able to sleep like that. But like, here's
Okay.
the deal. We're not trying to get a lot better. We're just trying to sustain our stuff so that we can graduate, right? Like now
Okay.
we're in the like I didn't get to sleep 10 hours in Buzz. I got to sleep.
Right.
I went to bed at 7 and I would get up at 3. So that's 5 and 3 is 8 hours a night, right? Roughly.
Right.
The thing about Buds is you can't sleep longer than that. Like I couldn't on Saturday mornings. I was up. The latest I could sleep on Saturday mornings was about 4:30.
Okay.
And so for me, like you just try to get to sleep where you can get it. But like when you get in training, you're trying just to get through training. Now I'm not trying to get better. And I think like the more you sleep, the easier it is to go perform physically.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's solid. That's good. That's a good one, man. Because I sometimes I forget about, just reinforcing the fact that the sleep is so important.
Right. Okay. And the only other thing I had really written down was because I know I got the ROM period, the 2-week little quarantine,
Yep.
and they're letting you run through that. They'll let you go outside and run.
Yep.
And then I talked to a guy that just graduated and he said they don't do anything in there. Like you could work out, but nobody does. So I just figured I could just like burpees galore, a ton of abs the whole time I'm in there.
Hey, so let's do this. Get on them abs.
Okay.
Okay, at least 30 minutes a day. I would tell you if you in ROM for 2 weeks, do 2 30-minute spots a day, man.
Okay.
Okay, and you really want to be able to combine them into one. So I used to go to Abs of Steel, man. It's this women's fitness class when we were in Chesapeake going through shooting course. Me and my boy Keith would go down there, bruh. Like 3 weeks later, we had abs like nobody's business because these women did an hour straight of abs, man. Your feet never hit the ground in an hour. It was crazy. When we first got in there, man, we were like, yo, are we crazy? And then it was like, like we're Navy SEALs and shit.
Yeah.
But then like a week later, we started to get used to it. And by the end of 3 weeks, we were killing it with them. But
Okay.
like you want to work up to an hour of abs. Like leg levers. You're going to do a lot of leg levers with fins on and stuff like that in SAR school. So like flutter kicks and leg levers and hello dollies and like you're going to do a lot of that. So the more you can do in preparation, the easier it'll be on your hip flexors.
Okay.
All right, and then have you been swimming with fins on?
Yes, I have. I've been doing like 500 a day, sometimes a little more.
Yep, money. Okay. I'm trying to think. In that ROM, man, I would hit ROM like a savage, bro.
Okay.
I would hit it like a savage. I would look at that 2 week period as, shit, I'm gonna keep this rolling. When you go into basic, it's gonna be bullshit, bro. We're gonna run like 2 miles and be like, that's it. Do some push-ups and sit-ups. You're gonna see all these people crying around you, but you got bigger goals, right? You're gonna be a SAR swimmer. So, are you gonna be an aircrew SAR swimmer?
Yes, sir.
That's fucking awesome, bro. You get to jump out, ride helicopters all day, and jump out of helicopters. So, all right, what else?
That's what I heard. Like, that's really about it. Those are the 2 big things I wanted to ask. Just how I can set myself up the best by the time I get there, and then it's on like Donkey Kong from there.
Hell yeah, buddy! Break out that 1988 analogy, man. It's on like Donkey Kong, boy. Yeah, brother. Hey, man, thank you for your service, man. I appreciate you going in the Navy. You're gonna be a SAR swimmer, so you're gonna see some bad shit, man. Like unfortunately, you're gonna be pulling dead people out of the water, man. The aviators and all the other crazy shit. You'll get some real world search and rescue. They'll ding you up sometimes. Just be strong in that shit and understand that that's your job, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
Other thing I'm gonna tell you, listen, when you get out there, okay, you probably ain't gonna be swimming like you need to. Okay.
Down to Pensacola, up in Chicago.
I'm talking about when you get to your squadron.
Okay.
All right. It's your job to be the best swimmer in your squadron. Okay. It's your job to go to the pool at lunch. Okay. It's your job to make sure that your gear is ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's little stuff like that like you get to the fleet and you're doing the job. Like, you really have a special operations job. Like, you really do. Because when they call you, you got to perform. And
Yes, sir.
normally in the Navy, you just, I mean, shit, if you out of shape, you still can do your job because there ain't nothing physical to it. But your ass got to swim for a living. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Always keep your knife sharp as shit. Right? Because when you get tangled up in some shit, you better be able to cut your way out of it. So,
Yes, sir.
that's a special operations lifestyle right there, brother. All right, dude, let's go get it.
All right.
Give me
Yes,
a call
sir.
when you get done with basic, dude.
Yes, sir. Sounds
All right,
good.
man.
Thank you.
All right, later.
All right.
Howdy, man. Thank you for the candor, brother. Thank you for the honesty. I couldn't agree more to this. I got washed because I was unprepared for the water evolutions. I killed the land stuff, but I couldn't even tie a knot underwater. Shit couldn't even tread water nor swim a sub 85. Shit was sad. I'll come back next time, though. Man, Howdy, make sure you reach out and get the PDF so you're prepared, brother. I just wanted to say, hey, man, thank you for this awesome, honest answer. And yeah, man, showing up prepared equals failing, brother. Showing up unprepared equals failing. We build champions for life.